Good evening, everybody. This is Stephen Howson. This is Transfer Talk. It's still just about Tuesday on my watch, but maybe it's not by the time this ends up going out. So, we'll get a little bit of Transfer Talk. And I asked a question out on Twitter before, who do you want to see me talk about tonight? And there was several, actually. There was several. I was going to say there was a couple, but there was several. One, Zlatan / Lukaku. What's going on there? Two, Rooney. Koeman's mentioned something about Rooney. Is that opening a door for Wayne Rooney to go? We'll cover that one. Spanish Dave, Real Madrid, what's going on right there? And the ongoing saga of who replaces Michael Carrick, which obviously is what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a worry, innit? It's a worry. Ultimately, it's a worry. It's a nightmare. So, first one that we're going to talk about is Lukaku and Zlatan. Did a debate today for Full-Time Devils, which I think is going up tomorrow. Might be Wednesday or Thursday. It will be Wednesday or Thursday when it goes up. Talking about Zlatan, so I won't cover too much of the ground that we covered in that a little bit, but I do see if Manchester United are going to play the same way as we currently do with Zlatan, coming in off the lines a little bit and allowing people to overlap him and run him and bring others into the game the way he does, then I like Lukaku for that. He's an entirely different sort of target man. He's not a guy that would replicate exactly what Zlatan does, but he is a guy that could go up there, hold the ball, play off that shoulder a little bit, bring some others into the game. Would he be as prolific? Well, actually, I think he might be more prolific. The conversion rate that Zlatan's got is not clinical. Now, some people can't separate fact from opinion on this one. He's not been clinical. His conversion rate hovering around the 14-15% mark is not clinical. Clinical is 100% in it, but he has been clinical recently in games. He was clinical in the cup final at the weekend, but over the course of the season he's not been clinical. That's not to say that he's not played well. That's not to say that he obviously is the leading goal scorer in the league and for Manchester United, massively influential in what he's doing. He's prolific, but not clinical. And people can't separate the two, but it's two entirely different measurements. So I think he hasn't been clinical. And if you look at the conversion rate for Lukaku, it's absolutely phenomenal this season. Lukaku, just on paper, would of the chances that he scored for Everton, would be on twice as many goals than Zlatan is at the moment, which is terrifying to think that someone could be on 50 goals already for us, just based off those stats. Now, it doesn't always work like that, does it? And I also see people saying that there's an over-reliance on Zlatan for Manchester United because he's getting a third of our goals, I think. A third of the team goals have come through Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now, that's true. But you've got to remember, if he's taken out of the team, it's not like nobody else is in the team. One of the gifts and the curse of playing a one-striker system the way you do, if it's 4-5-1 or 4-3-3, apart from Barcelona, they're a little bit of an enigma, as are Real Madrid. The guy in the middle, the number 9, generally, is massively reliant. We first saw this from Manchester United when Ruud van Nistelrooy was here. He was also a phenomenal goal scorer, but it becomes an over-reliance. When you play a two-striker system, you see both of those strikers will get a less amount of goals, but probably more overall because there's two of them. They will also maybe bring in some midfielders to score goals, and that's because of the occupying of the centre-halves that you get in a two-striker system. Two centre-halves to one striker. He'll generally have a lower output than two strikers, but he will be singularly... Christ, I can't... On his own, he'll be prolific. So I think that if you take Zlatan out of the team, whoever you put in at centre-forward would be more prolific than they're being now, be it Martial or Rashford that are currently being played out wide or mostly as a substitute. I tried to find the stats to back that up. Wayne Rooney's played 3 times, I think, at centre-forward, got 1 goal, 1 assist. Marcus Rashford, I think, has played 3 times at centre-forward. The problem is that I can only find the data in large format without going through every single match. That doesn't include League Cups and FA Cups. So I am assuming that because Zlatan hasn't played all of those, there would be more data in those. I think Rashford played up front against Northampton where he scored, so you know what I mean. Someone else would pick up that. But if you look at the likes, you say Rashford's not scoring a lot, Martial's not scoring a lot. These are lads that are played out on the wing predominantly. So if they was moved inside, even at the rate that they are now, they would still might not be getting as many as Zlatan's getting, but they would bring goals in. So yes, there is a bit of an over-reliance, but no, it wouldn't massively matter. Someone else would pick up that mantle, and especially if you've got somebody like Lukaku, his stats prove that he would probably be pretty prolific for Manchester United. Problem is, going to cost us best part of 50-60 million, I think. Maybe that's why Wayne Rooney goes over there as a sweetener of the deal. So I think that's one that could happen. That's one that maybe we should look at happening. I'm still 50-50 whether Zlatan will stay next season. There is talk that he's been offered to the MLS, or he's sounded out at least, the MLS, to some of the clubs in the MLS to go and finish his career over there. But for me, if you give me the opportunity to keep him for another season today, I'll take him. I'll take him for another season, because I don't think there's any indication that he's slowing down, that he's going to be less prolific next season. I don't think there's any indication of that whatsoever. I'd love to see him stay for another year and maybe get a title winners medal, and maybe we'll see what we can do in the Champions League with him as well, because we are going to need that experience. If Wayne Rooney goes and Bastian Schweinsteiger goes, which I expect, while they may not be contributing 100% output on the pitch, if we lost Schweinsteiger, Rooney and Zlatan in one summer, that's a hell of a lot of experience and a hell of a lot of wins. Bastian's won how many championships in Germany? He's won the Champions League, he's won the World Cup. You can't tell me that having him in the dressing room is a bad thing. Wayne Rooney's won a hell of a lot at Manchester United. Zlatan's got 32 medals from across Europe. That's a lot of experience to lose, and when you think that's on the back of losing RVP, you might have Michael Carrick sticking around, but it's not going to be for much longer. You lost Paddy Evra, you lost Rio in the last couple of years, Vidic the year before. That's a lot of experience, and experience at the top level, and experience of winning that you're about to lose from the team, and that is never a good thing. So it'd be good to keep someone around at least, and I think Zlatan can be that guy, and I think he's also proven to be a little bit of a leader on the pitch. As for who can replace Michael Carrick, there are options out there. I don't think he's going to try and go for a like for like. I think he's going to go slightly more combative. Bakayoko is at the top of my list for that. I really like what he brings to the game and that little bit of energy. Him and Herrera, I think, can do the dirty work between them and allow Paul Pogba to be more offensive. And with the ball at his feet, Paul Pogba is that. Defensively, I don't think Pogba's up to scratch in terms of being able to play as a number 6. But I do think Pogba on the ball, magic happens. So you get those two to do the graft and keep a midfield busy, and you allow Paul Pogba to go and dictate a game the way he can do, and he's been phenomenal at doing that this year. The question mark has been sometimes that you can rush him and bully him out of a game a little bit, and defensively he's not up to Michael Carrick's very high standard. The other one then, the big one to talk about is David De Gea. What do we do if he goes to Madrid? Because him going to Madrid is a very, very real possibility. And it's one that worries me, to be honest, because I think he's the best goalkeeper in the world. You can say it's Manuel Neuer all you like, but Neuer doesn't have to deal with the traffic, the business, the trade that David De Gea has to deal with. David De Gea plays in a worse team in a harder league than Bayern Munich in a Bundesliga. And consistently makes way more saves a higher percentage, as well as just a sheer higher volume of shots than Neuer faces. I also think Neuer is a mistake waiting to happen. The way he rushes out of the net terrifies me. It seems like it's unnecessary, and I see this a lot in German football. I don't know if that's because of a Neuer thing, that it's like a bit of a copycat league where there's other players have decided to do, but I do see it elsewhere in Bundesliga where goalkeepers come flying out of the box and you're like, whoa mate, what are you doing? I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think he's a phenomenal shot stopper, but I think there's mistakes in his game. I think he can be a little bit rash, and I think David De Gea is just a shade, just a touch better than him. If he was giving me the choice of any goalkeeper in the world right now, it's Dave. I see him with making the least mistakes, I see him making the most of the saves, and I see him being the most influential in terms of the impact that he can have on his team. That being said, there's a young lad absolutely tearing it up in Italy, and that's Donnarumma. Donnarumma is often linked with United. He's an exciting name. Broke on the scene at 16, has owned that shit, which is I mean, you occasionally see strikers, wingers, that sort of thing coming on the scene quite young because they can be exciting and express themselves, and that fearlessness of youth, they can really go and do stuff. But you don't see it with goalkeepers. Goalkeepers come into their own when they're late 20s. That's why David De Gea as a young goalkeeper is an anomaly. This kid is something else in terms of anomaly. If David De Gea goes, and it's an absolute risk that he'll go. He wanted to go. Make no mistake, David De Gea wanted to leave us. And I've still not got over it, to be honest. I still sort of don't trust him that he's going to stay here. He's never come out and said, that's over now, I'm not going there. He signed a new contract and was like, okay, back to work. But he was going. If it wasn't for a fucking corrupt file or a broken fax machine or whatever you want to think it was, with the transfer not going through, he wanted to go. He made the move himself that he wanted to make sure he went. Now, that's not going to go away. And he still is one of the most coveted goalkeepers in world football. So I think that the possibility of it happening is there every single transfer window. Maybe not in the winter ones, but at least in the summer ones. It's going to be there every single transfer window. And I've got to be honest with you. At some point, I'm going to lose my temper with it and I'm going to say, just go. And obviously I don't have any sort of saying where he goes or if he goes or anything like that. But I'm going to say, look, it's a distraction that we don't need. We're building something that I think could be quite special at Manchester United at the moment. A lot of players under 25, a lot of first team players under 25 yet to reach their peak, with a manager that seems to be doing things that making us that invincible Jose Mourinho Manchester United machine. And if David De Gea don't want a part of that, then I don't want him a part of Manchester United, because I think you need people on the same mission to get to the top, not people that are like, well, I'm going to go Madrid after this. That's where I want to be. If he comes out and he says, look, I'm here for life, I'll retire here, sweet, we'll get on with it. But he's not. And he's not going to come out and lie. I think he wants to go. So ultimately, at some point, that's going to happen. So now the question becomes, how do you replace the best goalkeeper in the world? Well, Donnarumma is bloody good. Is he on the level of David De Gea at the moment? I don't think so. He's 6'5". Someone asked me this question last week and I said, do you know what? I don't know enough of him. So I watched a lot of him. I use my favourite scouting tool, WeScout, so check that out. I mean, I pay a lot a month for it. I probably should get some sort of sponsorship the amount of times I shout it out. But no, I don't. I have to pay full price for it. I watched a lot of him on WeScout, and I've watched some of his highlight videos on YouTube. And I know the highlight videos on YouTube can make, Steven Gerrard look good. But I've watched the highlights on YouTube. I read a couple of reports over the weekend, Saturday. And I've also checked out some stuff on WeScout, and do you know what? I'm impressed with him. He's a big lad. He commands his box well. He's aggressive. He's quick off the line, and he likes to come out and take the ball once his defence has been breached. He likes to come and collect the ball, but not in a, oh my God, what you doing sort of Neuer kind of thing, where obviously Bayern Munich have such an extreme high line. You're talking halfway line type stuff. You don't get that with Milan. Milan sit a lot deeper than that, but when it does come into the box, he's on them. Sometimes drifts quite far out inside his box, but he does come out of the box occasionally, but it doesn't feel the sort of, this is nuts what you're doing sort of crazy that you get when you watch Neuer doing it. He's still prone to mistakes. Very good shot stopping, excellent reflex saves, and you wonder, as he puts weight on him, in 18, he's going to put a lot more weight on as he gets older. Is he going to end up a real big unit of a keeper, or is he going to keep that agility? Because at the moment his agility and his speed is terrific. And if he's going to be a goalkeeper that we look to, we got David De Gea in at 18, 19. I won't mind if he goes in the next couple of years. Italian football's not what it used to be. We could easily take a goalkeeper off Milan. It wouldn't even cost us, you would expect that we make a profit on whatever we got from De Gea in buying him in for a lesser price. And I think I could roll with that, in all honesty. I think I could genuinely roll with that and see how he gets on. Very impressed with him. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about any of those. So that was Rooney and Lukaku, like some sort of bogus kind of swap deal. What do you think about Zlatan? And also Donnarumma for De Gea. Do you see it happening? Would you like it to happen? Am I being a bit harsh maybe on Neuer? And where do you think this Donnarumma kid could stack up in the grand scheme of things with world football? Because I think he looks the real deal. There's a lot of hype usually around young players and stuff like that, but I think this one's the real deal. Anyway, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Oh, and actually, let's back it up. I ain't going yet. I had to cut out. If you know why, you know why. If you don't, you're never going to know. Unless someone in the comments tells you. I'll delete it. So I had to cut out me hitting the 30,000 subscriber milestone because of something on the live stream. But I want to say thank you to everybody that's helped me get to 30,000. This isn't the ultimate target. The ultimate target is to get a silver play button, actually. And I'm 30% of the way there. So 1 year in, 30% of the way there. It's kind of exponential, snowballs a little bit, because obviously more people see your video. You start hitting YouTube algorithms at sort of different speeds, so it does speed up the more people see your video. The hardest one is taking it from 0 to 1, isn't it? And the first 100 is the hardest 100. Every 100 after that comes quicker. The first 1,000 is the hardest 1,000. Every 1,000 after that comes a lot quicker. The first 10,000 is the hardest 10,000. I hit my first 10,000, it took me 7 months. I got my next 10,000 in about 3 months. The next 10,000 came in about 4 months or so, something along those lines. So listen, I'm absolutely stoked that there's that many people want to hear me waffle shit, and I'm trying to make this channel look more professional and look more inviting. Tomorrow there's going to be, or tomorrow, there's going to be another football special video going up, so please check that out, where you can win £100 as well. You can win £100 just for following me. It is as simple as that. You can win £100 just for following me. Details are in tomorrow's football special video, so make sure you check that out. That'll be up tomorrow afternoon at some point, Wednesday afternoon. Yeah, I'm trying to make the channel a lot more professional. I want to do more football vlogs, going visiting football in foreign countries. I want to do more of the documentary type stuff that I did with my granddad. I'm looking for higher quality, so a lower volume. I've been mega busy with work recently, so I've not been able to do as many videos. But I'm looking for higher quality videos, more edited, more produced, and I'm hoping that that's going to help see the channel through to this year's target of 75k. I need 4,000 subscribers a month, which is just over 100 a day to get that target. But I think with your guys' help, tell everybody you know, get them to come and subscribe, share it wherever you can, and I'll meet that goal. If I get 50,000 by the end of the season, I'll get rid of the beard. How's that for a little bet with everybody? If I get 50k by the end of this season, the last Manchester United game, I'll shave my beard off and I'll keep it clean shaven for at least a week. How's that sound? So make it happen, you fucks. Also, if there's anyone's podcast that you listen to and you would like me to go on that podcast, or anyone's YouTube you would like me to go on, because I want to go and do some collaborations in terms of podcasting. I'm putting a target of 50 podcasts. So far I've got 12 podcasts written down of people that I either know or I can approach and say, let me get on your podcast. So anyone that you think I would be a good fit for, or anyone's channel that you would like to see me go on, mention it in the comments here, mention it in the comments on their video. We'll try and hook it up. But that will do for tonight, I think. Thank you for watching. As always, we're back with a football special tomorrow where you can win £100 literally just for following me. And I'm also announcing the winner of last week's £100 just for fucking following me. So make sure you tune in already if you do follow me. As I said, thank you for watching. Let's get to 40,000, the next target. Thanks for watching. See you in a bit.